Adam Weinrib with Fansided MLB here with the guys you want to see. Jackson Olson, Ryan Cox, David Meadows, the Savannah Bananas. They sell out every stadium you can think of. It's an honor to have you guys here today. And you're here with me to talk about bringing Uncrustables, the official PB&J of the Little League World Series, to Williamsport. So before we get going, tell me a little bit more about the partnership and what you've been doing so far on site in Williamsport.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is just taking what we eat on game days and giving it out to the people. So we're going to be handing out free sandwiches all day from 12 to 1:30, and just hang around the ballpark, bring the best sandwich to the kids, and fuel everybody for their games.
This is a question for everyone because I've never been to Williamsport. I'm excited. I think I'm going to go next year, but I don't have that hands-on experience. I know that it's sort of this event that everybody says embodies what baseball stands for. To me, you guys do that as well. I mean, your mission to sort of bring fun to baseball all year long furthers that mission of the Little League World Series. So during your time in Williamsport, what have you learned from the Little Leaguers so far? And what have you been able to teach them in return?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. The fact of it is kind of the same thing. Savannah Bananas and Little League World Series. They kind of meshed. Last year, Ryan and I came to Little League World Series, and we were dancing with the kids before the game, dancing with Dugout, the mascot. And this is 10 minutes before their game, before maybe one of the biggest games of their entire lives so far. Definitely the biggest game of their life so far. And they're dancing, having fun. We were able to bring that energy to them. They bring the energy to us. So I would just say the fun-loving baseball spirit that these 12-year-olds have, they're instilling it in us. We're giving it right back. So it's pretty cool.
This is a question for everyone as well, and go person by person if you'd like. But I think you guys deserve some focus here as well because of how much you've done for the game of baseball and marketing the game of baseball. And I'm sure that, whether it's Little League World Series or whether it's, the sold out stadiums that you're playing during the tour, I'm sure a lot of fans have spoken to you and sort of thanked you for what you do and what you bring to the game. Has a fan ever said something to any of you that kind of just stopped you in your tracks, made you realize, what an impactful thing, this has been for the game?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's there have been instances where kids have been out of baseball and they would come to our games and they just weren't having fun anymore. And they'd see all the fun we would have and we would interact with them. And we'd get a message a couple weeks later and say, hey, our kid's back into baseball. He's going to try it again. And that makes everything worth it.
I noticed that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think just a lot with what we do with his backflips and Jackson and I's tricks. It shows the kid's a fun way to train when you can kind of get burnt out a lot. And last night in warm-ups, I saw the Texas shortstop go between his legs, just fielding a ground ball, just warming up for an inning. And they were up, they're winning, they're still in the winner's bracket. So it was cool to see him just having fun with the game and just taking it in at the Little League World Series.
I noticed that you've got a hat from one of the Little League World Series teams. Did you swap, or how'd you get that?
Oh, I got this morning at the team store. I'm from the Southeast, so I had to represent the Southeast.
Nice. Okay, amazing. A question for everyone is, again, obviously one of the best things about Banana Ball is your ability to sort of blend free expression with this game that we all love. For all of you, does that date back to youth baseball for you? I mean, were any of you pranksters in the locker room, or did you sort of grow into this as your games developed?
No, I think a lot of times with the baseball, you're always trying to walk the right line, impress your coaches, your parents, the scouts. So a lot of things that you do is uniform, right? You don't want to stand out too much. And a lot of what we do with the Bananas is expressing yourself. Like Jackson's the best storyteller, so he puts his videos out and tells his stories. And I've gotten crazy and we'll wear these bracelets. I'll paint my nails, I'll dye my hair, like a bunch of things that I would never do when I was in high school or even in college, just because you didn't want to be that guy on the team. And really, it's just a fun way to express yourself. It makes you want to go out and even kind of play harder.
Jackson, I know that you definitely, I don't know, maybe from an outsider's perspective, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like you take the lead a little bit in terms of some of the choreography, some of the the lip dubs you guys choose. I'm wondering if is there anything that you haven't choreographed yet or chosen that you'd love to debut soon? Anything you can hint at that you're working on behind the scenes?
If you're talking about choreographing dancing, that's not me. I'm the worst dancer in the world. But some of the walk-ups that we do and some of the walk-ups that we've done in the past, we did one like I'm Just Ken from the Barbie movie. And it was cool to be able to finally, I think all three of us have been in with the Bananas long enough where we can kind of take control now and be like, hey, I want to do this. Like Sweet Escape, Gwen Stefani. Ryan did that one, choreographed the entire thing before it was at bat. It did well. The fans loved it. So nothing in particular that we're working on, but it's kind of just day by day. We have so many games back to back to back. We play 3 games a weekend. So it's always like, what's the next thing? And then once that ends, you put it out on social media and you move on to the next. So it's a lot happening really fast. But yeah, I would say the lip sync ones are my favorite ones that we do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great access point. I mean, as someone who has gotten Savannah Bananas gear for friends as wedding gifts, I will say that it's very much it's spread to corners of the fandom world that you all might not have expected at first. I guess I'm also wondering about what your interaction is like now with Major League Baseball. Like, have you all managed to maintain your fandoms, your childhood fandoms, or is it just kind of like, we're in banana ball world now, like MLB could do what they want. Do you still have passion for teams that you once rooted for?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Pirates fan, so that's lifelong, like thick and thin. So keep up with the Buccos and watch Paul Skeens. I think it's cool. We've had an opportunity to meet a few MLB guys, past and present, that have welcomed the game, and like Jose Trevino is a big one that we've met. He had such cool cleats the other night. To get him to watch him play in the Williamsport game was so cool because he had shown us love whenever we saw him in Texas, and we actually got to see the cleats that he made that night. So it's cool to watch him wear. I posted a video imitating Brandon Crawford, tagged him, and he responded to it, and I was like freaking out, like just like I would because I watched all his videos growing up. So I think it's super important to keep that relationship because those guys inspired us. Like we all grew up watching them, and we'll continue to do so.
I think another cool thing with our relationship with the league itself, with Major League Baseball, I was at the World Series 2 years ago. I just played in the summer series. It was like 3 weekends of games, and got to the World Series, looked on the Jumbotron in like the 4th inning, and I see Dan Oberst, our first baseman, like on the Jumbotron in yellow. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is not happening right now. And it was a commercial for the Bananas of when MLB came to our game in the summer series and recorded everything. And I'm like, wait, so if MLB likes us and we like them, like this could be cool. And now we're playing in sold out Major League Baseball stadiums. So it kind of was a precursor to what we were going to end up doing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. David, what about you? Do you have an MLB fandom that you maintain?
The Braves. I'm from South Georgia, so I grew up watching Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones and all those OG Braves players, and getting to meet them in the past couple of years, meet a couple of those guys. It's, I'm still starstruck every time I meet someone I always looked up to as a kid, because the dream was to play in the major leagues, and when you get to see your superhero right in front of you, you just always in awe.
And that leads right into my next question, because you've played with a lot of MLB alums at this point. You have a lot of, seems like a lot of disproportionate number of former Red Sox, maybe because the Red Sox are crazy. But you've played with a lot of MLB alums that have sort of been really great fits in banana ball. Have you guys been starstruck by any of them, like David said, or is it just kind of like, oh, they're one of the guys, there's Shane Victorino, whatever, it's kind of natural?
I feel like we've always get starstruck when like we first meet those guys, but like when you realize they're just one of the dudes, like most down to earth guys you'll meet, like it's just like, okay, they're just one of the guys, but it's still like so cool just to play beside them or just get to meet them.
For example, Kipnis was in Cleveland. We had Kipnis and Kluber, and I got to talk to Kip a little bit, but I had waited because he had so much going on in his day. He's saying what's up to everybody. Same thing with Kluber. I didn't even really get a chance to say hi to him other than congratulations on his inning. But I told Kip how much I enjoyed watching him play growing up. I saw a lot of his games, talked about his positional move. He was an infielder. He went to the outfield to help that team. And you could see it in his eyes that like it was cool that we paid attention to what he had done. And then he got the ovation he deserved in Cleveland and was super thankful for that because he said he never got to go back after he left. So that was really cool to experience with him. So we get to kind of be in awe, but yet share a really special moment, which kind of makes us just like friends, It
kind of reminds me of like Field of Dreams too. It's like all these guys coming out of the corn, like they might not have like Kipnis, like might not have gotten the ovation that he wanted at the very end, but like they're all able to come back and enjoy it. And a lot of them do it for their kids. Like Kluber literally came back because his kids wanted to see him pitch. that's the coolest thing in the entire world. Like it's just so cool.
It's a lot like Field of Dreams because Moonlight Graham actually could do a sick backflip. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but
Did not know that.
Definitely fits. I don't know if you can say, but I mean, Cleveland seems to be on your minds lately. Which big league city does anyone stand out as having like the most intense atmosphere, or is it just like every stop of the tour, there's something else wild to absorb?
They all have been unique, I feel like, in their own way. Houston was super big because it was our first one and we were trying to be perfect with it. So, like, I know for me, my nerves were a little bit higher for that game. Fenway is kind of the mecca. You want to be respectful. You want to respect everything that came through that ballpark. And just to be able to play on it is kind of overwhelming. DC was my favorite. The hospitality they showed, the 42,000 they were able to put in the ballpark. But we got a couple more coming in, so I'll be excited to see what Philly brings.
Yeah, you should be excited to see what Philly brings, I think. I mean, look, I can't guarantee it, but I feel like it's probably going to be pretty nuts. You have a unique set of rules as part of your game, and I think MLB has had a little bit of a looser focus the past couple of years on adopting rule changes. Is there anything that you think that MLB should adopt from Banana Ball's rules? If so, which ones, or even play off of them? Like if there's something, a derivation of a Banana Ball rule, like is there something you think MLB should look into?
Ooh, I think one, and honestly, like I'm not sure if they would, but if I had the playbook in front of me and I had the document where I could change a rule, it would probably be no stepping out of the box. I think that literally takes so much time when a guy, Robinson Cano would hit a foul ball and he would walk around the umpire and it would take 20 seconds, 25 seconds. We have guys striking guys out in 20, 25 seconds. So it moves the game faster. It'll keep fans in their seats. I'm not sure if they would ever do it, but if I had that document in front of me where I could sign it off, it would be that one.
Yeah, mine would probably be the golden batter rule. It's our new rule this year. At any point in the game, you have one golden batter and you can select any hitter to face that at bat. So if I could see like Mike Trout hit with 2 outs against Shohei Ohtani every time, I'm taking that.
Yeah, I kind of got to agree with DR. I think that would be the coolest, especially towards the playoff stretch or anything like that. You have one opportunity to win a big ball game. Like LeBron James, Steph Curry can get the final shot in basketball. Patrick Mahomes can throw the football. Why can we not see the best of the best in baseball go up in that 9th inning?
Perfect. And this falls right in line with that. I'll wrap here. We talked about earlier, the Little League World Series, has so much, positive energy. Banana Ball Tour, so much positive energy. Maybe not necessarily rule changes, but let's say you get in a room 10 minutes with Rob Manfred. Like, what advice would you give him about what you've managed to uncover and what's been so special about what you do? What would you advise him about with regard to making sure MLB is doing all it can to market the game?
I feel like the last couple of years they've made some great strides. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is just be open-minded with everything, be able to listen to what the fans are telling you. Ultimately, you're there for them. The games don't work. You don't get to play as many games if the fans don't show up. So continue to listen to what they want, what's best for the players, for their safety, and for the speed of the game. But baseball's been in a great place. I'm sure it'll remain in a great place. But just continue to push the fun and keep the fans at the forefront.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, for your time today. I know you got a busy day handing out Uncrustables to the kids at the Little League World Series. Hopefully, I get to see you guys in person at some point. I would love to come on the tour. I'm on the wait list, a couple cities, so crossing my fingers. But hopefully, this year, future tours. Best of luck with all that you do. Really excited to see what's next.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Adam.
Yep, thank you.